What's going on, everybody? It's DJ. Today we're going to take a closer look at the hose system coming with the Pumps and Hoses DLC by Create a Mesh for Farm Sim 22. In total, there are going to be 17 different tools available in the store with this DLC, and you're going to be using at least a variant of everything in here in one way or another if you want to use the hoses as well as the pumps. Actually, I guess these are the pumps and hoses with the DLC. If you're just looking for a generic overview of this, I've already made a video on that, and I'm going to link that in the description as well as the first pinned comment. Check that out if you haven't seen it already, because there's things in that video that we're not going to cover here. And if you're looking for an overview of the BGA system with this DLC, that video is going to be coming out after this one. But check the first pinned comment anyway, just in case. I'll link those there. Otherwise, let's jump right into the hoses and pumps coming with the Pumps and Hoses DLC. All right, it's the last time I make that joke. So there's a couple different things that we need to be aware of in order to get any type of slurry or digestate into the machine on the back and into the field. As I mentioned in the introduction video, there's a lot of things that do the same thing. For example, the H240, the DH240, and the FTH240 are kind of the same thing at the end of the day. Even on the back of this, if we've got the reel on the back, well, that's just another version of the reel. They all work exactly the same. So we're only going to be utilizing one of them today. And I'm actually going to go with this one because, well, it's a lot of fun. We're going to go with the front version. So let's get that. Then the pumps. Again, as I mentioned in the introduction, they all kind of work the same. These right here, you're going to need to put in the trigger area of a slurry tank or digestate tank. So be aware of that. I'll show you each one of these. So we'll get, how about we get the version without the reel? Because you guys know how to use reels already. Then we've got these, the JC450 and the PW121. Again, at the end of the day, they're both the same thing. They just have different features. Probably the one that most of you guys are going to be using is this. Heads up, this cannot attach any of the drag hoses or any of the injectors on the back. It's just a tank. That's it. So that's why we're going to go with this one. Ba-boom. Got it. But that's not all. There's two more pieces of equipment that we need to get to kind of get to the point where we've got everything we need. We need the tool. As you can see, attached to tool carrier. So keep that in mind. Yes, it's the HS5100, but it's the tool carrier. Easy way to remember it. You need one of these. There is one of our injectors that has this installed ahead, and it's the smallest version of all of them, the 8040SS. Now, you could get it with or without this tool, so just depending on how you want to do it, you could do that. But for today, we're going to use the tool as a separate piece of equipment. So we got that. And then we've got three more pieces right here. So I like this one. It's the largest one. It requires the least amount of horsepower. It's kind of like a cheat code. This one is the same size, but it's a different model altogether in real life, meaning that it's a little bit different. And then we've got this version as well. This actually has a cultivator built into it. The fields that we're going to be doing today are already cultivated. However, if you need a cultivator, go with this one. And of course, we need some hose. Now, the big thing right here is going to be how much hose can we hold? Well, we can hold up to 1.7 kilometers. However, our pumps, this one is only going to push 700 meters, so no point going over that. And this one will only push 300 meters. So again, there is no point to have more hose than you actually need. So since the most that we could do is 700 meters on one of those and 300 on the other, let's go with, well, different versions of the umbilical hose. We've got a couple different colors here, 8 different colors to be more precise. So we're just going to get like one of each. Not going with the gray one because there's no point. But all those are 100 meter. You can get these hoses in 500 meters as well. Again, really easy. And then we need to make sure we've got the wrench. This wrench, boop, right here, is going to allow us to put these hoses together. So we've got 700 meters of hose. I've got all the pieces that we need to run Slurry. There is one other piece of equipment that you may want to get a hold of just in case. This is the compressor. What this does is it cleans out your hoses and it cleans out the pumps. It cleans everything so that the degradation is much slower. As you know, we've got wear time on the vehicles and tools in the game. Think of it kind of like that. Over time, it's going to take longer to get the pump getting to work, and it's going to take longer to get everything running. So if you just clean it out after each time, you're good to go. I don't know where that ended up, but we'll figure it out. Also, I need another tractor too. All right, we got everything set up. Let's do it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is set up our field side tank. So on the front of this, I'm gonna run the compressor. So whatever you're gonna be running the slurry coming from, so that's going to be your pumps, put the compressor on there. We even got one piece of equipment that has a pump installed already on it, which is kind of nice. So we've got our fill tank and we got our compressor. This vehicle is done. And because I'm going to show you guys how to utilize the other way of doing things, well, we need to also make sure we got a compressor for the front, and we'll go ahead and pick up the pump. Now, this is the smallest of all the pumps that we've got with this DLC, but it's actually really nice and easy. It's not that big, but it works great. And lastly is going to be this big old machine right here. So I have settled my reel for the front, so we've got that, and we can open and close it just like so. Next, we want to hook up to the tool carrier. So we'll hook up to that, and the first thing we'll do is unfold it. It comes folded up, but you need to make sure that you unfold it. It's going to go down, back around, and do its thing, because we've got to back this up to the injector, and if we don't do that, it's just going to push it over. So we need to make sure that we do that. We've got it attached, and now we can fold it back up. That way you're not just running around dragging it everywhere. And lastly, we need some hoses. So let's go ahead and hook all of these up. This will hold a different amount on each reel. So first thing I'm gonna do is unfold it, bring it down. There we go. And we'll go ahead and start attaching. So there's 100, there's 200, and there's 300. So we've got 300 there. And now we'll go ahead and put another 400 down on the bottom part. Again, you just pull right up to it. It tells you what button to hit, which is kind of nice. It didn't have to do that. Boop, boop, boop. Got him. So now we are ready to make our way over to the field, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm heading over here. I've got a clean, cultivated field. There's nothing in it. It hasn't been fertilized. There is nothing on here. To the side of the field I go. I've got this filled up with digestate and water. The water helps kind of like the compressor does. Keeps it clean, IRL, etc., etc. In the game, though, it just helps the degradation not happen as quickly and keeps everything working good. Now, we are going to unreel some of these hoses, and we're going to connect them. Again, this will run up to 700 meters. So, technically, we could run 700 meters if we really wanted to. I may not run 700 today, because that's going to be a whole lot, but we can get pretty close. So, we'll come here. I need to change to unwinding. Now I've done that, it gives me another button that says start unwinding. So I'll do that, and it'll drop one end of the hose, and I can simply back away. You've got your count down at the bottom right-hand corner, which is in meters. So if you know you've got 7 100-meter hoses on here, well, simply just back up until 100 meters is gone. Boop, just like that, and it'll drop straight to the ground. Now, I can reattach this if I want to, so you can come up, see, attach, boop, just like so, and then I can back away, pull it around, do whatever I want. But I don't want to do that. I want to, well, just keep going. So we'll detach there, and then we'll keep going. So I've got another hose here. I'm going to pull forward to kind of give it a bit of an overlap. That way it's got a chance. Start unwinding, and we'll do the same thing here. Just kind of go around. You can either drop it down and you can move around, but you need to keep moving. You need to keep driving and progressing if you want this to unwind completely. And there you can see, boop, just like so. We've got that unwound. And lastly, we'll go ahead and start unwinding the last one. So start unwinding, drop it down, bring it around. We're going to do this quite a few times. We have 700 meters of hose. This is also why having one really long hose works way better than having a bunch of individual ones. But it just showcases that you can do it. And actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to run all of that. That's just going to be a lot of work, and a lot more work than I really need to get involved with. We only need about 300. That's going to be more than enough for us to showcase how to do this. If you want longer, just add more hose. All right. So let's bring our tool down, we'll come to the back, and we'll attach. So there's one piece, ready to go and done. Now let's make our way down here to the next connection, and I'm gonna grab my tool, and grab this hose and just kind of bring it close to it. Now they're close, click the button again, and they will connect each other. It may not look pretty, but trust me, works just fine. It will do the same thing over here as well. Heads up though, these are breakpoints. So if you, for example, get too much tension on these at a certain given point, boop, just like so, it's just gonna unhook from itself. It doesn't care. It's like, oh, you wanted to do that. Well, we're not playing that game today, and it'll just take off running. So be ready for that. All right, the last bit right here, we'll grab a hold of it. We'll bring it over here and drop it just near the vehicle and jump in here, and you can see it says attach umbilical hose. So we've got that. Now, let's get this sorted. Let's set, I don't know, this to the side somewhere. Let's get everything unfolded first. Also, you can see down at the bottom, this will kind of just drag it around. I mean, it is a drag hose at the end of the day, so it'll drag it around. And it'll also go with path of least resistance. So whatever's closest behind you, that's what it'll pull. It's not completely like you would expect in real life, but it ain't too bad. All right, so now that we're over here close to the edge of the field, this bad boy I need to turn on. So turn on the pump. Activate pump. Boom! So the pump is now activated. 100 liters has disappeared because that's what this will actually hold. Now, just lower each piece. You could do it individually if you would like. Boom, just like so. And drive forward. And the slurry is going down to the ground. We've also got double application rate if you would like, just like every other slurry taker in the game. And that's kind of it. That is the hose system kind of in a nutshell. It's kind of nice. It's kind of fun. We can hire up a worker if you really want to, and we'll jump out of there and let the worker go do his thing. I'm going to jump in the air so that we can see how this hose is going. So it's going. He's going to pull this. It's going to straighten it up. Go ahead. It's stretching. Huh. Well, this is interesting. Wasn't expecting this. That's a 100-meter hose that is currently stretched out of its mind. It will also go down into the ground a little bit sometimes as well. I'm not actually sure what I did wrong here. But you know what? It's working, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Normally, this would just pull along, but yeah, it's decided to do this. Well, it's working, whatever. Let's take a look at this thing and see exactly what happened. So the hose seems to have found a couple places to get caught on, but you know what? It will do that from time to time. Anyway, it works, whatever. Let's go around. I'm not gonna edit that out either. Hey, if something happens, I'm gonna show you guys. Let's go and reset this. So we're here. We're gonna go and turn that off. And let's jump in our JCB and detach from the umbilical hose. Actually, I'm gonna show you how to clean this out real quick. Go up here to compressor and do, was it turn on compressor? This is going to sit here and power up for a little while, and then it's gonna go tss, right there. It is. And now click clean umbilical hose. Boop. Click it. It will basically just shoot a bunch of water, air, something like that through it. Use whatever you want. And you're done. It's clean. Let's go do another thing. Here's actually my favorite one because it almost gives you unlimited power. So let's go over here. I'm going to pick this hose right back up where we left it. Bam. Got it. So now I can take this, the umbilical hose, and I'm going to take it over to that silo that's sitting over there. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, well, obviously this is a pump, but it doesn't actually have a holding capability or capacity, nothing like that. So I'm going to take this. This is one of the stall camps that comes with the DLC. I'm just going to place myself in this trigger. That's it. And then I'm going to activate the pump. As long as you are within this trigger on any of the silos that come with this pack. So if you've got any of these, any of the stall camp silos, I'll just go for the largest one right here. Just place it right here and it will utilize whatever's in there. Obviously, we're not running any pipes from one to the other, but it's so cool. And so now we'll take this. We've got an entire area here that we haven't touched yet. So let's lower it down It'll turn on automatically. And we go! And again, just like before, we're utilizing Slurry. We're doing just fine. Hire up a worker, let him do his thing. And we're right beside the source. So that holds everything. It's like 300 or 3.5, 3.6 million. That's a 3.5 or 3.6 million liter tank capacity that you could possibly have for this area right here, which is pretty insane. I'm also going to try and fix this because I still don't know what's going on with this. So we'll come over here. I'll actually kind of show you. So we've disconnected one. We'll reconnect them again. I'm just not sure. We'll give it a try. Maybe that was enough. Hire worker again. Let him go do his thing. The PU's not running. Ah! Now it is. So this is a two-person job for sure. You will need 2 tractors minimum to run pumps and hoses, but works just fine. And again, we've got this huge capacity for Slurry. If we go in, take a look for Slurry and see what we've got right here, you see there's that, and it is going down slowly. So it's using it. Oh, and now I'm to this point right here. Nice! How cool is that? Also, it looks like the hoses are coming with me now, so that's nice to see. And we're just pulling along. You can see the different colors rolling up through there as well. How neat is that? So you can utilize one of the 2 capacity pumps, or you can utilize that right there. But you can also utilize both together if you really want, and they'll just pick it up like that. It's kind of neat, man. It's kind of neat. So for the last bit of this, I want to show you how to clean up because we have a complete mess and there's stuff everywhere. So let's go ahead and take this. We will, oh yeah, detach the umbilical hose first, of course. We'll go ahead and fold everything up. And we also need to make sure all of the hoses are disconnected from one another. So we'll come up here. We'll disconnect. Hitting the wrong buttons again. Come on, DJ. Get it together, my man. Get it together. All right. Now we're good. So we'll hit that. We'll come over here. We'll hit this. There that is. And I'm pretty sure this came undone. Yes, it did. So that's another thing. Make sure you're not pulling too far away because this will just basically, well, do exactly what happened. So now we've got 3 hoses, 3 100-meter hoses. We will start with this. I'm going to select the front. We're going to lower this down so that I've got the reel that I've put them on. And looks like winding is on. So we will attach and we will start winding. We don't have to move. We don't have to do anything. It does this for us. It's kind of lazy. And you can see the hose over there slowly but surely making its way to you. Now, if I were you, I would just move because it's going to roll up the same speed no matter what. So you may as well do it as quick as possible. So we'll do again here. We'll go ahead and start winding this up. It knows what colors are there as well underneath. You can see that. So it's got that. I mean, obviously the animations aren't going to be perfect. It's still farm sim at the end of the day, but I do think it's pretty cool. And we'll come right around over here and we will simply wait for this hose to finish winding up. And it has. And we will finish up with the last hose that we've got. Nice, clean job, great animations, a lot of fun to play with. It just offers you a different way to play Farming Simulator, and sometimes it's not, and I'm going to say this, I'll say it, sometimes it's not always about trying to get the most amount of money as quick as possible. Sometimes you get to just kind of have some fun and use some really neat equipment in a video game. And that's kind of what it's all about, really, right? Yeah. Yay. So the last thing I'm going to show you in this video is a neat feature that a lot of people probably are not going to see. So what I've done is I've gone for this tanker and I've gotten the water point. So let's hook up here. And what I'm going to do is unfold. So it drops down, boom, boom, just like so. Now I'm going to open the cover, which opens up that little spot right there. Now this will allow me to take something small, like a Mahindra Retriever, for example, and I'm gonna take our water pump over here. Now this water pump, in case you didn't know, this is literally a mobile water buying station. That is literally all it is. It is used specifically for that one purpose. But Creative Mesh have put in a little place in here that you can put it. So technically, you could put this on the back of here and then utilize it from there. So we've got it backed in. I'll detach. It'll pop up. There we go. We'll pull forward here. And then we've got this. And now we will close the cover. And it brings it in. Now it does also know that it's there. You saw that it raised up. Sometimes it'll do that. Sometimes it won't. You're good. Now there's also room in the back there too. I think you might be able to fit like an ATV or maybe a pallet up there. It doesn't look like that's going to want to fit. But maybe something a little bit smaller. Use it to carry it around with you. I think a pallet probably would be the best thing. But now you've got that. Fold it up. Bring it up. And now you can take that little viable water point around with you everywhere. Speaking of, it's enterable. What? You can get inside? That's so cool. Very, very neat. And whenever you pull something beside it that can fill up with water, you fill it from this, not from the other thing. You basically tell it, hey, I'm water, you can have me. Never thought those words would come out of my mouth, but that's the thing. Well, there you go, guys. That is all the pertinent information that you need to know about the hoses themselves, how the reels work, how to get the injection into the ground, and how to spread your slurry or digestate, and how to utilize some of the pumps, and some neat features that you may not see anywhere else with the water pump, which I think is pretty cool. This is part 2. Again, check out part 1 if you haven't seen that already, and stay tuned for part number 3, dropping very soon, or check the first pinned comment. It may already be out. That's going to be showing off the BGA, the placeables, things like that. Show you guys how to be successful when it comes to throwing poo in. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like, get subscribed if you're new, and join the GoHam fam. Notifications, you know what to do with them. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you later.